I'm joined by Cacky Poarch, the executive director, and who has seen the evolution of film in this state starting when you were 12 years old.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
Last time when you left deadCenter in 2010 for Greener Pastures and other projects. But you really were the founding executive director of deadCenter. So let me just start with this, which was about 22 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. So this is our 23rd year. Yeah.
Okay.
So it started, in 2001, and there was a handful of films at the fairgrounds, which was the old city arts building.
Right.
And then it was moved to Edmond. And then year 3 is when a group of passionate people, passionate volunteers moved it downtown, and it just built upon itself. And it is interesting to see my name on the old documents of making it a corporation and making it a nonprofit.
So it was, and then you went to do movies on your own.
I did
in 2010, and then now at 23 you're back. And can you describe from a context perspective about when you left deadCenter as executive director in 2010 to where we are in 23, the quantum leap from 2010 to now?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. And even actually how vibrant downtown is. We were just having a conversation with Anthony McDermott, who was a board member, who was one of the co-founders of TAP Architecture. Back in the day, he was wanted to be on our board to bring something cool to downtown. And so it is amazing how much downtown has grown, how much deadCenter has grown, how much the film industry has grown. Back in the day, we were advocating for film incentives, which we did, how many years ago? Over 10 years ago. And now it's really amazing. The investment that's going into our film industry has made a huge difference. And I think right now we have, 5 or 6 film studios in the state, which is awesome. We have Twisters filming right now, literally across the street with Prairie Surf. There's a series called Crackle that's at Green Pastures in Spencer. Boiling Point Media. You can walk into their studio and it's a huge LED screen, and you can be in New York Times or the middle of a field, or it's really amazing how much the film industry has grown, the infrastructure has grown, and of course the product that's coming out of Oklahoma is awesome. Back in the day, filmmakers, we had to beg filmmakers to submit films, and now it is absolutely incredible the amount of films that are submitted to deadCenter. We have 5 Oklahoma features. We have 2 Okie short blocks, and that's actually after turning down a lot of Oklahoma filmmakers. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be with deadCenter and in the film industry.
It's a good point you just made, and I'll never fail to do this if I can, to credit visionaries like Senator Roger Thompson, Representative Scott Fettgetter, former Representative Jason Dunnington, other people who worked really hard on the incentive and telling people, look, if you do this, this is going to happen. And one of the few times, that politicians get it 110% right and overcoming this. There were some of the dumbest arguments I've heard. I've been covering politics 40 something years. The dumbest stuff I saw came out of people opposing the film incentive. Okay. Yeah. And when you look at what's happening downtown, and by the way, because we're northern McLean County, I want to say Twister too. Twisters are still winning, but still, in all seriousness, it is magnificent to see how much the state has changed. And Cacky, those are jobs, and they have to spend that money. They have to spend that money. This is not some giveaway, right? They got to spend that money to get money back.
Right. And it's a lot of jobs. And when you think of the film industry, you are aware there's actors, you're aware there's directors and producers, but you don't really realize how many people work on sound and lighting. And also craft services, which is feeding those people, hotels, carpentry, electrical, transportation. Yeah, it is a vibrant industry, and it just crosses so many different realms of workforce development here in the state. So yeah, that is one thing that we talk about all the time, is that everyone's welcome in the film industry, and that is absolutely true. There are so many job opportunities, and it's exciting.
So then we're cranking along here about 2019, and this thing comes along named COVID.
Yeah.
And so for a couple of years, it seems like that Dead Center was virtually virtual, right?
Yeah, that's
And
right. That's right.
isn't it basically the last year, and you've been there, where the we're back to at least mostly normal in terms of the festival itself?
Yes, even though I mean, um, it's hard to say because I do know really across the board of any kind of um, performing arts, concert venues, theater, audiences people are having trouble getting audiences back because people were like stuck in their homes for two years, and that's something that we saw last year. Hopefully, we're going to see more attendees. We feel very confident about it. We've had higher pass sales. Our sponsorships are up. And it's something that we did this year to encourage people to leave their house is that we had deadCenter Kickback, and it was the third Wednesday of the month, and it was at Lively Beer Works, and we encourage people to come hang out with us, have a beer, and talk about movies. Because back in the day when we were going through the screening process, because that's like there is thousands of films that are screened, and then they go to the programming committee, and then that's where we hash out the full schedule. But for all the screeners, they used to meet at Coffee Slingers and grab a bag of films, and they would talk about what they had seen. And so that's what that was one of the intentions of bringing back Dead Center Kickback is come have a beer, talk about movies, talk about what you've seen, what you want to see. And it was just engaging people to leave their house again. And so hopefully audiences will show up. I feel pretty good about it. I feel the amount of phone calls and text messages we're getting about people and asking about films is really exciting. So I think we're going to have a lot of sold out shows this year.
That's super. There is, I remember a few years ago when a lot of the buzz around the world was about a little movie called August Osage County.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of buzz about Oklahoma at the time. And now there's another movie coming from that part of the state. And you've started to see the trailers out with Leo.
Yes.
And there's an actor in this that was there at Cannes last week, and she's going to be super, super famous, but she's also going to be involved in Dead Center a lot. Can you help us out? Can you
Yeah,
tie it
that's
all
right.
together for us?
Yes, Lily Gladstone. Yes, she's coming to Dead Center. She will be here she is in two Dead Center films. One is Fancy Dance, which we are so excited about. It's our closing night film. And actually, the director, producer, and writer of Fancy Dance, Erica Tremblay, is our 2023 film icon. So we are very excited about that as our closing night film. And so Erica Tremblay is our icon. And who's going to give her award? Lily Gladstone. So that'll be a really special evening on Sunday night. But Lily Gladstone is also here with the film Quantum Cowboys. And that's going to screen a few times here in the festival. So she is here promoting her own projects here at Dead Center, which is so exciting.
Very cool. And if people also, when COVID happened, people like our family, we just got into Dead Center, and especially some of the ladies at my house, which really enjoyed the parties. They're legendary parties, okay, and then going to these films and meeting the filmmakers, getting to interact with them, right? So much fun. So all of this is back. The parties are back, and you've got. I mean, now that there's more theaters than you've had in the past. Okay,
Yes,
Museum
yeah,
for
we
First
we have
Americans.
seven theaters at Harkins, which is huge. So that's one thing that like if you come to Harkins and one film is sold out, you're probably going to be able to get into something 30 minutes later. So yeah, so that'll be a major hub. We also have Oklahoma City Museum of Art. We're gonna have First Americans Museum, and on Saturday night we're gonna have a free screening at Scissortail Park.
What in your vision now of being back to Dead Center and this being sort of normalized and more places to have the movies and screen the films? My question is, where do you go next year? This one seems to be a rocket ship right now.
Yes. Well, you know what? We're going to get through this year first. I mean, like we just today have already had two volunteer trainings. We are printing off passes. We're going to deliver all of our passes to our VIPs. We're going to have our booklets printed with our schedule when those will be delivered tomorrow. So right now, that's what we're focused on.
Okay, I did not try to make a more, and Crystal USA will kill me for suggesting that next year. Let me, for people who may not know about the education program. Okay, so
Yes.
this is more than just a film festival. There's a lot of stuff that happens year round. So for educators and parents, tell us about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's not as well known, I don't think.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one of the many programs that is under our umbrella, deadCenter Film. And this year in particular, we really focused on rural Oklahoma, which I think is going to be our focus moving forward. There are lots of great training programs in the metro, in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, but something that has not quite reached rural Oklahoma is how cool the film industry is and all the opportunities. So this year we were on contract with Gina Nelson, who it was the 2020 Teacher of the Year, and so it's a full, kind of a encompassing view of the film industry, how young people can get involved. And also, really, we want to hear their stories. That's something that's really important to us as filmmakers is storytelling. And so that's something that has been a through line this year is that we want to hear your story as an Oklahoman because there are so many interesting stories here. And really a perfect example of that is Sterling Harjo, who was an award winner at deadCenter, I think in 2005 for Goodnight Irene. And now, he Reservation Dogs, which is with FX, is a huge show. And just his voice is so authentic and it is such an Oklahoma voice that is what we would love to nurture more of. I think that's what will really elevate and propel the film industry forward is that type of authenticity about Oklahoma. Yeah, so that's and also our education is free to schools. We will be doing that again in the fall. Something that we do at deadCenter also during the festival is deadCenter University, which is a collaboration with Metro Tech, and that is full for this year. But that's on Thursday and Friday, and that's like the first day will be at Green Pastures, which is a working studio, and then on Friday, all the visiting filmmakers meet with students, and then the students get a free pass to come to the festival on Saturday and Sunday. So it's a great combination of you can learn a lot, learn again about lighting, work on a camera, meet some filmmakers, and then come see some awesome films. And that's
Okay,
all free.
so and all free and
All
wonderful.
free.
And let me ask you this. So a person that just like we did a few years ago before COVID, like you really discover deadCenter, you're really not sure what it means. A lot of people are like, what's the name mean? We talked
I
about
know.
that a million years. deadCenter of the United States. Well, if you're hearing about it for the first time, as many people will, and you'll go, all right, I just want to dip my toe in this. So if somebody who's not participated in deadCenter before, Kecky,
Yeah.
I want to learn a little bit this year. How do you suggest somebody understand, get a taste of deadCenter? One day, one evening. What do you suggest?
Right. So we do have a lot of free programs. Saturday night, June 10th, we are going to screen a Thunder short, which is called Steps, which is about an athlete here from Oklahoma, Derek Lockseed, I believe is his name, who had a tragic accident and he lost a foot, but he has turned that tragedy into triumph and is actually going to be participating in the 2024 Paralympics. So it's about, it's a story about him. And then also after that, we are going to show a documentary about the Indigo Girls. And we saw that at South by Southwest, and it's an awesome documentary. So that's something you can do on Saturday night that's free. We also have a free family showcase and a free family fest. That's on Saturday at Harkins. So that's something that, everyone's welcome. Also, something else that is free for everybody is the Future of Film. That is programming that we're going to have at JDM Place. It's a building it's in Bricktown. It's above Mickey Mantle Steakhouse. It's on the 4th floor. And that we're going to have virtual reality films. And I think there's about 10 of those. So it's one of those things that when you go in, you like put on, goggles, and then you are immersed in a film. And some of those are really, really interesting. There's a few that are about food to where you are, totally immersed in this. environment like a big Sunday, or someone's making sushi in front of you, things like that. And then in that space, we will have drone films, and also the Cherokee Nation has done a documentary about something about strawberries, and actually their whole crew will be there, their creative team, and showing people how it was made. So that's free. That's Friday and Saturday, and that's from 11 to 6 at JDM Place. So those are some things that people can do for free, if they don't necessarily want to buy a pass. A pass is $200, and that does include, like this year, we have about 160 films, tons of parties. If you want to just come to a film, we sell tickets 20 minutes before, 20 minutes before, and tickets are $10. They have been $10 for over 10 years. We will probably never raise those prices because we want everyone to come see a film.
One of the films that we've talked about today is an individual you named earlier. It was on the board, dealing with the Cherokee language. Cherokee Nation has a film office. It's just so great. And by the way, for people who haven't done this, you've mentioned South by Southwest, and that's like very cool and all this sort of stuff. But I got to tell you, Oklahoma City food scene is better than Austin's.
It is.
And Oklahoma City is just nicer than Austin. There is no too little burnt orange in downtown Oklahoma City. Okay. The ugliest orange of all time is that burnt orange type. So you can do all of this stuff in Oklahoma City, and you don't have to go to Austin for all that overrated, overpriced food down there that you have to stand in line for.
That's right. And actually, what's really cool is we became an Oscar qualifying film festival before them. So we are an Oscar qualifying film festival in short narrative and short animation, and we got that before they did.
Sure. It's like we naturally, occasionally there'll be something happened where we don't, like once every 10 years at the Cotton Bowl. It's very rare that we lose to those people. So that's how it works. All right. So thank you for your time.
Oh,
so
thank
for
you.
people that want to get on the web and start investigating for themselves, where do they go?
deadcenterfilm.org. And we also have an app, Dead Center Film Festival. You can download it on your phone.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, so, the reappearance of Cacky Poarch at the time everything goes like a rocket ship. People start talking, right? Okay.
Well, thank you.
Saying Cacky's known for, as a fashion plate when it comes to headgear. Okay. Hats. Okay. That is different than I've seen you before.
Oh, really? My hat? Well, yeah, thank you. So I do love a hat, but we had 2 volunteer trainings today. So, and we're working really hard, moving boxes around. So this is me working real hard. Look.
Well, I know you're crazy busy, and we thank you for taking time, and we're very excited about Dead Center.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
All right. See you soon.
Okay. Thank you.